All right, welcome in on a crazy busy Wednesday. We got a lot to do today. Still waiting for the link to the sweatshirt, Rico, so I can pay off our bet. We will get deal breakers later in the day. The power rankings are out, and I've been awarded a special dispensation when we do the Big Ten Power Rank. I get to rank MSU, and Rico works around it. Now, Rico's just finding out about that.
Yeah, who said this? Okay, you know what? How about
Jesus did?
How about we just get this out the way? Michigan State comes in 17th in the Big Ten Power Rank.
They come in below South Alabama.
But they just come in 17th, and Mike will tell you why.
How about this? Here's what I want. I want you to put our friendship to the test and show some trust. Let me rank them. And if it's egregious, you, Kenny, David, overrule it. I want to show you personal growth.
Okay.
All right.
We need to discuss this during the show.
No.
I don't want to bore the listeners with this.
This is great.
We are on to 205. Let's go.
All right. So we didn't get a chance to fully deliver this topic yesterday because of what was a very impressive Tigers press conference with Scott Harris being named the new GM, president, the whole bit. I was inspired by Monday Night Football, people. And I have a question for you. And no, it's not about the Lions are going to win every game and win by a zillion. It's not that all of a sudden I think they're a Super Bowl team. But when you watched Philly and Minnesota, it's a team you played in week one who went out and dropped a bomb on Minnesota, the team you're facing in week two. And it's credibility that the Eagles might be not just a hype team, right? Might not be that offseason team, Rico. Might actually be
no, they're legit.
A threat in the NFC. And you go, okay, we could have played a hell of a lot better. We cleaned up our act. We blew out the Commanders in week two. And now we face a Minnesota team that, hey, week one.
You blew out the Commanders in the first half of week two.
Fair. How about this? A solid, credible NFL victory.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you that. Okay.
So, Minnesota destroys the Packers in week one. And we see the Pack come back week two, beat up on a bad Bear team. But Minnesota, thrown in the wood chipper. Their defense looks bad again. I was breaking a lot of that down, getting ready for Cash the Ticket. This Lions offense is for real. So here's what I came out of Monday night with. Both with what Buffalo did to Tennessee, too. There's one team on this schedule where I'm chalking it up as an L, period. One, Buffalo. Everybody else, while you won't beat everyone else, because nobody does that, and while you will lose your fair share of games, I am now taking every game and putting it on the board. Meaning, Lambeau, it's on the board. At Minnesota, it's on the board. Miami, yeah, I know, 2 or 3 500 yards. It's on the board. It's on the board for a reason.
See, Miami's the type of game that I think the Lions, great offense. It'll be a shootout game.
And we bet the over. How about this? How about this? If I give you, I'll give you another game. You want to make Miami the game they can't win?
Yeah.
Done. No arguments. Done. So now, 14 of your remaining 16 games are on the board as possible. The NFC's not that good, and your offense is for real. I want to know if you are approaching the Minnesota game in week 3, but the rest of your season in a manner much like Rico's approaching it with his team. That while the Niners won't win every game, nobody does that. That there's really only 1 or 2 games on.
Hey, we're a struggling team, okay? We have a backup QB in.
All right.
I don't know if we can win another game in the NFL.
All right. If you lose to Nathaniel Hackett this week, I will never let you hear the end of it. But I want to know from Lions fans, are you willing to open your mind to the possibility of more? Something I sold all summer. Now we're seeing it on the field. Like, I don't know if you're going to beat Minnesota, but I'll expect you to be in this game and score a lot of points. And if you lose, as Rico put it, it's going to be a shootout. 248-539-9797. I want to know where people are at. Are you willing to accept the possibility of this team. I don't know. Do I say good?
No,
do
Mike,
I say?
I mean, but in theory, is it as even just being in the game? Did that change much from last year? Because they were in a lot of games last year.
But I think they're going to win their share of them this year.
Okay.
So and it's a step. Rico, I'm just saying everyone shudders when I mentioned 8 or 9 wins. What if I believe it's 9 or 10 wins? What if I believe the NFC is bad? That if Philly's the best team in the NFC, it's a bad NFC. But let's look at this. The Packers aren't the Packers. Now, their running game is legit, and I love some of the stuff. It was funny. I almost texted you, but I knew your wild travel weekend. I didn't want to bother you.
Oh, you could have texted.
Watching the Pack, they looked a lot like San Francisco with the multiple running backs, the pre-snap motions, guys flying all over the place. But it works. But their wide receivers stink.
See, for the Packers, I do believe that over time, this is going to get fixed. Right. This is probably the worst you'll see that connection because he's going to find at least one that becomes his guy.
You know what's not going to get better? They still can't stop the run.
Yeah.
And guess what you're going to do? You're going to pound them into submission.
Ooh, that's a long time. Let me see. When do they play the Packers?
So my point is, I don't think the Packer vintage. I don't think Tampa Bay is bad. You can say whatever you like. Tampa's got the best defense in football, but
November
that
5th,
offense,
you're banking on 32 still being healthy, huh?
Have David pray. What do you want from me? So my point is, who's great in the NFC? I think the answer is nobody. We just faced.
Or you may have beat one of the great teams of the NFC. I mean, you lost to them, but they're not coming back. It's not a home and home.
Yeah, and I would love to get another run at Philly. I would love to play them again. I came on the air a week ago, and I was pissed they lost. Hell yeah, I want to play them again. So here's my question. Monday night's in the books. You saw what the Bills did, and you go, okay, they're just built different. But Minnesota and Philly, and I looked at that, and I said, you know what? I watched 2 weekends of football. I look around the NFC, Rico. Why can't the Lions beat anybody? Why can't the Lions be a surprise team? And you know what? A lot of people talked about Carolina being a surprise team. Carolina's winless, and they look like ass. You know, a lot of people thought, hey, Dallas could be a surprise team. Well, their quarterback's dead. The offensive line blows, and I don't think Dallas is any good. You just go up and down the list. I want to hear from the people. I'm willing to raise my expectations. So let's have some fun with it. And if you weren't inspired, I'm okay with it. But what I don't want to do is the PTSD. Oh, but it's the Lions. I'm not interested. I'm interested in the here and now. And I think if Ragnow gets healthy, if Jonah Jackson gets healthy, Rico, this offense is legit.
I've said that. I've said it all year long. It's the defense that worries me. It's stopping the other team. It's getting that crucial third down stop to get them off the field. It's going to New England, and maybe the weather's not great, and can you get in there and stop the Patriots, stop Mac Jones before he, goes on a game-winning drive? That's my biggest concern for this team, and they've really shown me nothing aside from that half where I was like, wow. And then, they then showed that they let the Commanders score 27 points in the second half.
Mistakes were made. David, or a couple things that went awry.
Well, mistakes were made.
I mean, things happen. I mean, David, where are you at with it? I mean, you watch as much football as anybody. I know you're a Steelers guy, but when you look at this, your team's offense is terrible, so's mine. The Lions, it jumps off the TV. That offense travels. That offense is going to be a distinct problem for people. Agree?
Yeah, that offense looks even better than I thought they would look. And what I mean by that is, okay, so he's missed DJ Chark a few times. Mm-hmm. But the philosophy of it, he's open. The route that he's running is there. Goff just has to connect there. So that is a positive in my mind. Yeah. It's not like they're doing something completely wrong.
Right.
And Swift and the running game looks wonderful. The offense part of it is just the defense part of it that concerns me when it comes to even changing my 6-win prediction.
Okay.
But the offense itself.
And the thing about the offense that I like is the fact that you can't just key on one person. Though Swift may be the best person there. If you gear up for the run, St. Brown will beat you with the pass. If you start covering him, they'll go to Hawkinson. They'll do different things. It's not like,
and eventually,
if you shut this person down, you can beat them.
So here's my question. Maybe this is the better way to do it. You started the year at 5. David started the year at 6. I started the year at 8. I'm upping my prediction to 9. I think they're going to win 9 games.
Okay.
I
You know
know
what?
what-
I can match that, and I'll up my prediction to 6.
Fine. David, you're staying at 6. And there's no right or wrong,
I'll
guys.
stay at 6 for now. Yes.
But and again, people, this isn't, oh, you're a hater. No. Rico and David have every reason not to go as far as I'm going.
Right. This team will be entertaining. I don't know if it'll come away as victories. You'll feel good. You'll start thinking about, my God, if they could have just got that stop, got that sack, stopped that runner, did something, and we would have won that game. I think it's going to be a lot more of those types of games where you're going to kick yourself because 1 or 2 plays kept you from winning that game.
Give me 3-2 after 5 weeks. I may up it to 10.
Oh, my gosh. I will also say this. What Amon-Ra St. Brown does for this offense.
Amazing, right?
At the end of last year, I can see people argue and say, it's just a flash in the pan. That at the end of the year, teams aren't playing. He's real.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
He's legit.
What if I told you that his game could go to another level the minute Jamison Williams comes here?
Okay. I just want to hit the brakes on that, okay? Can we stop it with this?